Good afternoon, students. Welcome back for Zoom class. Today we are going to discuss very interesting topic, that is leaf. Okay, what we are going to see in this session: what is leaf and what is its general characteristic feature, and what is its function, and what are the types of leaf, and what is its phyllotaxy, and the arrangements of vein in a leaf is said to be as a veneration and types of veneration, right? We are going to see all those things. So first of all, let me take what is leaf. Actually, leaf is a photosynthetic organ, you know very well. This is a leaf, right? It's green in color. It's the lateral appendages of the stem, which is a green in color and flattened green in color. Simply, I can say it is a lateral appendages of the stem, right? Now this is a leaf, right? If you take a leaf, that consists of mainly three parts, right? The first one is a lamina, and the second one is petiole. This is a region where you see it is a petiole. Right? When this portion is called margin. The first one is the apex or leaf apex. Second one is the margin. And third one, vein or primary vein. The entire structure is called lamina. There is a flattened greenish portion. It's called lamina. Right? And it is secondary veins. And this portion is known as petiole. Right? And this is called the stipules. Stipule, and this portion is the leaf base. Leaf base, right, my dear students? If you take a leaf, that you can find following parts. The first one is generally leaf is divided into mainly three parts. The first one is the lamina. That is the first one. Second one is petiole. Stalk of the leaf is called the petiole. And the fourth one is leaf base. So the leaf lamina, which is green in color, which is very thin and flattened, the large sized part of the leaf, that is called the leaf lamina, or it is also known as a leaf blade, right? And petiole, stalk of the leaf is called the petiole, right? Because it gives rise to form leaf lamina, right? And the leaf base, it is nothing but it is a hypopodium. This leaf base which attaches on the stem with the help of petiole, and the petiole gives rise to form leaf lamina. So there are mainly three parts are there in the leaf, right? The first one is the leaf lamina. It is also known as the epipodium. Epipodium. And the leaf base is a hypopodium. It is also known as a hypopodium. The middle portion is called mesopodium. This mesopodium, which is to be like a bridge that connects leaf lamina along with the leaf base, which attaches on the stem, right? So this is called as a leaf, right? So leaf is a photosynthetic organ, and its margin sometimes varied from one species to another species, right? So the structure of leaf, which is greatly varied from one species to another species, because that shows a great variation from one leaf to another leaf in size and structure and location and function. That's why the leaf that shows a great variation, right? Repeatedly I'm saying, because the structure is varied and the location is varied and its functionality is also varied, right? So this is a nature of leaf. Simply leaf consists of mainly three parts, namely lamina, petiole, leaf base. Talking about leaf lamina is a epipodium which is very broad and thin, like blade-like structure. That is a photosynthetic organ that's going to trap light energy to light energy, right? In the lamina, you find a number of veins, midribs. There are so many veins there. We are going to see what is the vein and how many types of veins are there, and what is the nature of arrangements of vein is called venation, and types of venation we are going to discuss, right? And stalk of the leaf is called simply petiole. Sometimes the petiole it may be present in some leaves and some plants. In some plants, the leaves are totally absent, right? If the leaves are present, the petiole is present in a leaf that is called a petiolate. Or the stalk of the leaf in sometimes it may be absent, that is a expetiolate or sessile, right? So just below the leaf base, you find there is a pair of a small, very tiny leaf-like structure that is called as a leaf base. My students are talking about this is a leaf base, right? When you see the diagrammatically, I can show you, my dear students, you can understand. Now, this is a leaf, my dear students. Diagrammatically, just I'd like to mention. Right? This is a leaf, right? This kind of structure you will see. So this is a leaf which is a green in color. It is a thin, flattened, lateral appendages of the stem. Okay, as I said, it is at the growing point or tip of the portion. This is called the leaf apex, and the margin, the border of the leaf is called leaf margin. At the center, you find the vein, right? Vein is there. The small principal vein is there that gives rise to form a number of branches, right? Each branch is known as a secondary vein, and from the secondary vein, you can get a number of vein length. They are called the tertiary. So, if you take a general leaf, you find that there is a midrib which gives rise to form the lateral branches for the secondary vein. From the secondary vein, you find it. Tertiary vein lengths you find in the structure, right? So these arrangements of veins, we are going to see there is a venation and types of venation, my student, right? And as I said, the very large, thin, flattened, big portion that is called the blade or leaf lamina. This portion is called leaf lamina. At the center, you see midrib, and that gives rise to form secondary veins. And the stalk of the leaf is known as the petiole. And just below the petiole, you find that there is a, now this is a stem. My dear student, if it is a stem in which you find the leaves are attached, with the help of, there is a sheath-like structure that is called as a leaf base, right? You see leaf base. Sometimes from the leaf base, you find some, there is a pair of leaf-like structure that is called a stipules, right? What is it called? Stipules. So this is a nature of leaf, my dear. Sometimes the leaf base, it may be sheath-like structure, or sometimes it may be swollen in nature. My dear students, I am talking about, in some cases, the leaf petiole, which becomes like a swollen. Now, this is a leaf in which sometimes you find it. I'd like to point out, it is a leaf where you see leaf lamina, as I explained. And the leaf base, I'm talking about leaf base. This is a leaf base. The leaf base which becomes a swollen in nature. Such a condition is called swollen. The leaf base which becomes a swelling, such a condition is called pulvinous. What is it called, my dear student? It is called as a pulvinous. Actually, pulvinous is a characteristic of only leguminous category. Leaf base sometimes becomes like a swollen. Sometimes the leaf base which becomes sheath-like structure. If you take a banana leaf, in which you find, my dear students, you find in banana. Now this is a leaf. In that case, you find the leaf base which is very broad and sheath-like structure. In banana, you find the leaf base are very broad, sheath-like structure, right, my dear students? I like to draw this, just the structure of leaf, banana. Right, my dear students, if you take a banana in which, as I said, leaf lamina is very broad and a thin blade-like structure, and the leaf base you find sheath-like structure, right? Now this is a sheath. It is called leaf base. It forms like a sheathing. Right, in case of banana or Musa paradisiaca. For that, I would like to give an example. Musaceae, or banana. So banana belongs to the family, Musaceae family, in which you find there is a structure which is a leaf base which becomes like a sheath-like structure, right? I'm going to show you the leaf base which becomes sheath-like structure. Sometimes it may be. Now you can understand, my dear students. If you take a banana in which you find the leaf base which becomes sheath-like structure, that attaches on the stem portion, right? Mostly in Musaceae, in the members of Musaceae and Poaceae, you find the leaf base which becomes like a sheath-like structure. Sometimes a leaf base which becomes like a swollen in case of acacia. And one more category, that is, I can say, Labla purpuris, in which I'd like to mention, my dear students, you can make a difference because the leaf base which becomes a swelling, that is a pulvinous. Here, my dear students, you can expect two more questions. What is pulvinous? The leaf base which becomes swollen in nature, that is called as pulvinous. Pulvinous is a characteristic feature of only leguminous paper, right? In addition to that, I'm going to show you some examples which are related to pulvinous, right? This is very interesting area, my dear students. Laplapper puris. It is a binomial of bean, right? In the bee plant, you find the leaf base which becomes a swelling. I'm just talking about the leaf base. If you take this plant, the leaf base which becomes swelling. Here, this is a leaf. The leaf base becomes swollen, right? So this is a region where you find the pulvinous, right? Pulvinous. So this is the nature of leaf, right? Okay. And what are the general characteristics of leaf, right? My dear students, what are the general characteristics of leaf? Actually, as I said, leaf is a green appendage, lateral appendages of the stem, right? Leaf is a lateral appendages. Lateral appendages of the stem, right? It has a limited growth. Second point. It has a limited growth. The growth is very limited, right? Limited growth. And it is exogenous in origin. It is exogenous in origin. It is exogenous. In origin. And it is a photosynthetic organ. It also performs photosynthesis. And it also reduces. Actually, it is a right place for transpiration process. So these are all the general characteristics. Leaf is a flat and thin, flat and green portion. It has a limited growth and exogenous in origin, and it also performs photosynthesis. It also takes place, transpiration also taking place by leaf, because leaf is a photosynthetic organ that performs both photosynthesis and the gaseous exchange. That is also one of the important characteristics of leaf, right? It is very thin blade-like structure, right? Okay, my dear students, when we talk about functions of leaf, what are the functions of leaf? So the first point is they are primary function or the secondary function. My dear students, The function it is up to, they are primary function and then secondary function. First of all, let me take what are primary function. And what are secondary function? As I said, the first primary function is photosynthesis. Second one, it also performs for gaseous exchange. Gaseous. It also performs gaseous exchange. Third point, it also determines transpiration process. It also performs a transpiration process. It also performs production. For bud. So they are the primary functions of leaf. I repeat it again. It involves a photosynthesis because it is a photosynthetic organ, because it is very thin blade-like structure that performs photosynthesis. Second one, it also involved in gaseous exchange due to the presence of stomata. Third one, transpiration is also taking place through stomata, right? And it also gives a protection to buds. When the buds are in condition, it is to be protected, right? That is the primary function. What about a secondary? One more thing, it also transports water, mineral, and it also transports water and dissolved substances, right? Dissolved substances. Dissolved solutes, simply can say. Dissolved solutes. So they are the primary functions of leaf, right? Then what about the secondary function? The secondary function, the first thing is storage. For that, I'd like to give example, aloe vera. Aloe vera. So these leaves are highly essential for the storage of food, right? I'm going to show you that you can understand. So this is a plant of aloe vera. You can find it. I'm talking about the first function is the storage. My dear students, I'm talking about the secondary function of leaf. So the first one is a storage. For that, just I have given an example for aloe vera, right? That stores food material. When we take a cross section of the leaf, we can find some fleshy substance, fleshy food material. So that is a storage. Not only storage of water, but also it possesses food materials, right? It is highly essential, medicinally it is valuable one, right? Please understand, aloe vera, it is a right example for a storage of it, right? And second one, protection. For argiomone, that is a right example for protection. The second point is protection. That means the plants which are able to modify its structure, right? So that is called it. This is a protection purpose by formation of some thorns from the leaf ocean, right, my dear students? This is an example of protection because it produces thorn-like structure from the leaf lamina. Example, I can say Xibio mexicana. I'd like to give an example, that is Xibio mexicana. Generally, the plants are grown in xerophytic habitat, right? Because it is grown in dry region, but it does not consist of simply other thing, but the leaf is modified to protect by itself, right? So simply it prevents the grazing of animal, right? That's why the leaf is modified into thorn-like structure that helps to protect for the survival, right? So that is example of Xibio mexicana. Which of the following leaf is modified into thorn-like structure which helps in protection? If it is asked, you get right, just simply Xibio mexicana. It is generally it is a tropical plant, right? And one more category, that is a support. I'm talking about secondary function, my dear students. Secondary function, they are support. The first function is storage, second function is the protection, third one is the support. So there are many examples of that, but I have like to give, just I'm going to show you a few examples. The one is Gloriosa superba, right? Gloriosa superba, it is a straight flower, right? Because the leaves are providing support, right? Gloriosa superba. So now in the picture you see this is a leaf, right? The leaf motion which gives a supporting in order to carry out the flower, right? That is a Gloriosa superba. It is a straight flower. So when the flower is hanging, or freely hanging, right, in order to prevent falling, the leaf has to be supportive in nature, right? That is the nature of Gloriosa superba. Which of the following plant is example for supportive in leaf, right? If it is asked, you got right, Gloriosa superba. And one more example I am going to give you, please understand, my dear students. That is a Nepenthes pitcher. It is also known as a Nepenthes or pitcher plant. Now it is also produced like so this is also very important plant, that is a reproduction plant, right? Actually this reproduction, one more secondary function, that is reproduction. So the leaf lamina is modified into coil-like structure, right? In the case of Nepenthes. Nepenthes. So this is a Nepenthes plant in which leaves are modified into coil-like structure that secretes the fluid substances, right? When the insects are laying down, so we are going to study detail, right? What is Nepenthes? And why it is modified, right? This is actually the picture in which you see this is a modification of leaf, right? Okay, it is also involved in reproduction purpose. So this is a functions of leaf, my dear students. And next I am going to talk about the parts of a leaf. Already I have introduced the parts of leaf, right, my dear students? Parts of leaf, right? So there are so many parts there, even though I have explained at the beginning. Just I'd like to mention once again to you, right? Sometimes, as I said, the leaves are simply, now this is a leaf. Now this is a parts of leaf. Now you can understand very clearly, right? Okay. In that, in addition to that, sometimes the petioles are there, and additionally you find there is a pair of leaf extension that is called stipule. If the stipules are present in a leaf, it is said to be as a stipulate, or the stipules are absent in leaf, they are called exstipulate. My dear students, I'd like to compare now. This is a stem in which please understand it is a leaf. Just imagine it is a leaf, right? You find, you know very well, leaf consists of leaf lamina, leaf blade, and petiole. Sometimes the leaves are having very long petiole. Now this is called the petiole. The presence of leaf, the presence of petiole, it is called the petiole. Stalk of the leaf is called the petiole. So the presence of petiole in a leaf is called as petiolate. What is meaning by petiolate? Petiolate is nothing but a leaf which consists of petiole. I mean, stalk of the leaf is called petiolate. If it is absent in some plants, in some leaves, I would like to mention in Calotropis gigantea. So now this is a leaf in which you find absence of petiole. Here you may not see petiole, but this kind of leaf is said to be as absence of petiole or ex-petiolate or sessile. It is also known as a petiole is absent. Petiole is absent, hence it is known as a sessile condition. My dear student, please understand. It is a sessile. Sessile. Sessile is nothing but absence of petiole. That means that the leaf lamina, it does not arise stalk of the leaf, I mean petiole. It is called the sessile. Such a leaf is said to be a sessile condition. The presence of leaf is indicated by petiolate. The absence of petiole is called simply sessile condition. Right? You can understand. For that, I'd like to give example. Calotropis. This is a calotropis is a right example. Calotropis. Calotropis is an example of sessile condition. Whereas petiolate leaf, I'm going to give an example for petiolate. Hibiscus. Hibiscus. Hibiscus rosa silence, right? I'm going to show you the picture that you can understand. So in first case, you see there is a long petiole, right? My dear students, you can understand. This is an example for petiolate, right? Here you find petiole is there. My dear students, you can understand clearly. Now this is a petiole. Here you find the petiole. Stalk of the leaf is there, right? It is called the petiolate, right? I discussed those sentences. Whereas in calotropis or sessile form, you can say the leaves are having no petiole. My dear students, now are you able to find out? Calotropis gigantea. Here, this is a plant where you find the leaf does not consist of petiole, right? Now, when we take it is a leaf, it does not arise leaf lamina. Here you cannot see absence of petiole. Such a leaf is said to be a sessile condition. My dear student, you can understand. Calotropis, it is called in Tamil, right? In which you find absence of petiole, right? It is called sessile. If petiole is present, it is said to be petiolate. So it is a technical term to understand the parts of leaf, right? Okay, my dear student. Next, I am going to talk about one of the parts of leaf, that is a stipule. Again, repeatedly, I am going to draw the structure of leaf, my dear students. So don't get confused, right? It is a stem in which a leaf is there, right? Here, repeatedly, I am drawing the structure in which there is a pair of leaf-like structure that is called a petiole. I'm sorry, sessile. I'm sorry, stipule. Just below the leaf base, you find stipules. What is stipule? Stipule is a small outgrowth. It is a small outgrowth. This is a small outgrowth which is found in between leaf base and stem. That is called a stipule. If stipules are there in a leaf, it is said to be as stipulate. My dear student, please understand. It is called a stipulate. What do you mean by stipulate? Stipulate is nothing but the presence of stipule, which is found in between leaf base and stem. So simply, the stipule may arise from the leaf base, the axis of the leaf, right? That is called the stipulate. If stipules are absent, that is called the exstipulate. Now, this is a leaf in which there is no presence of, right? My dear student, please understand, right? Here you find that this is a leaf. Here, absence of stipule. There is no presence of stipule. Such a condition is said to be as exstipulate or E-stipulate. E-stipulate, it is also known as X-stipulate. X-stipulate is nothing but the absence of stipule. That means there will be no presence of stipule, which are arising from the stem, in between stem and the leaf base you find, right, in the structure. So that is called X-stipulate and the U-stipulate. Generally, stipules are found in only dicotyledon, whereas in monocotyledon, ligules. Instead of stipule, you find ligule. So ligule is also small leaf-like structure. Now this is a grass or a monocotyledon in which you find a number of nodes at the right. Here you find there is a small leaf-like structure that is called a ligule. If ligules are present, it is said to be as ligulate. Ligulate indicates presence of ligule. Ligulate indicates the presence of ligule, that is called ligulate. Whereas ex-ligulate means absence of ligulate. Ligule, it is a small leaf-like structure which is very tiny, very small in size, that arises from the node of the leaf, right? And sometimes it may be protected buds which are grown inside of the ligule. So mostly ligule is a characteristic which is of monocotyledon. Ligules are characterized in only monocot. In monocot plant you find ligules are present. Whereas in dicotyledon you find stipules. Please understand, stipules are present in dicot and ligules are present in monocot. Right? Generally leaves are born at the node of the stem, right? Node of the stem. Okay. Sometimes stipules, the ligule are a small stipules. Instead of stipule and ligule, we can say stipules. Stipules, it is also known as stipules, right? But it's also a small leaf-like structure that also arises from the stem, right? So this is a structure of leaf, right? Parts of leaf. So far we have discussed it. Parts of leaf, my dear students, right? Thank you for joining, my dear students. Tomorrow we will continue pillow taxing and venation, types of venation. What is venation and the types of venation, right? We have almost ended, right? Time is over. So I'd like to discuss with you. This is your time to interact, right?
Thank you, sir.
My dear students.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Understand what I taught today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Leaf
Yes,
and
sir.
Leaf.
parts
Leaf.
of leaf, functions of leaf, general characteristics of leaf, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Many
Yes,
parts
sir.
of leaf here that I have
Yes, sir.
discussed. Students, please
Yes,
answer loudly.
Okay.
My dear students, so we have discussed today what is leaf and what is its parts and what is its general characteristic features.
Functions.
And
And
there are
what is its
functions of
significance,
leaf.
right?
Primary functions and secondary functions.
Primary
Mention
function, secondary
leaf
function.
lamina. Could you talk about leaf lamina?
It is a
Epipodium.
it is a green portion of
Epipodium.
leaf.
What do you understand about epipodium? Boys, one of you, could you answer? What do you understand about it? Mr. Naresh? Naresh? Nobody's there?
Flat green portion of the leaf is called lamina.
Oh, very good, ma'am. Very good. Okay, good. And what do you understand about petiole?
The a
It
bridge
is a
between
bridge
lamina
between
and
lamina
the
and
stem.
Petiole is nothing but it is a stalk
Lamina
of the
cylindrical.
very good, ma'am. So in the presence of petiole in a leaf, what is it called?
Petiole.
Very good. Petiole. Very good. If petiole is absent, the leaf is said to be as
Sessile.
sessile condition. Very good.
Sessile condition.
Okay, when we talk about the parts of leaf, you find the base of the leaf which becomes very swollen. Such a condition. What is it called?
Pulvins.
Pulvin.
Pulvinous. Very good.
Pulvin.
Very good. Sometimes the leaf base which becomes like a sheet-like structure. What is it called?
Sheathing.
Sheathing is there.
Sheathing structure. I think this leaf sheathing is very familiar. One of the plant which is widely used.
It's a banana.
Banana plant.
Very good. Very good. That is the right example for leaf sheathing and pulvinous, right? One more example. Could you give an example? The vegetable is widely used for preparation of food.
Labella bean.
Right?
Can you please ask the question one more time?
One of the vegetable which is used widely, right?
Labella
Lava purpuris, right? It is the binomial of bean plant, right?
bean.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Mostly its vegetables are available in the month of January and February, right? Very good, no problem, right? And could you list out any general characteristics of leaf?
Lateral appendage
It
of
is
stem.
lateral appendage of the stem.
It also performs
It
a
is useful for
transpiration.
Exogenous
photosynthesis.
organ.
Synthesis,
It has
leaves are
limited
born in
growth.
nodal region. Very good, ma'am.
Transpiration.
Photosynthesis.
Very good.
It does not possess apical bud.
Very good. Could you
It
list
has
out the functions of leaf?
Primary function,
Primary function,
Secondary
secondary function.
Secondary function.
When we talk about the secondary function, one of the secondary
Storage,
function which is
protection.
very familiar.
Storage, storage, protection, support,
reproduction.
reproduction.
Support.
So thank you for joining, my dear students.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to give you home assignment. Please take down, right?
Yes, sir.
And read all the questions thoroughly and try to write and try to practice more than once, right? Thank you for joining. And most of the time is over, right? So please take down some questions. I'm going to give you. Take down. Please take down, my dear students, assignments.